Chapter 2. As she crossed the threshold into the main part of the palace, Aelithra felt as if she had been hit with the anticipatory energy that filled the halls. It danced across her skin like magic. The servants bustled past her, intent on some urgent business, their arms full of the long, thin, bright fabric streamers that would be tied to the apple trees in the grand courtyard. Others carried lanterns, patterned cloths to cover tables. It was a constant motion that she had to carefully navigate around. The smell of food being prepared filled the halls from the kitchens below. Her stomach felt tight. The mere thought of another celebration, another one she had no knowledge of, was this what her father wished to see her about? It was up for debate whether she would be told to attend but not embarrass him, or to not attend at all. She swallowed hard and kept her face carefully neutral as she strode with purpose through the hallways and towards her father's study. She saw the servant a split second too late, and only her quick reactions from training stopped her from sending the woman and her balanced load of streamers careening backwards. She caught her arm to hold her steady. The woman bobbed her head into a bow, juggled streamers into one hand so she could reach out to press her free hand to Aelithra's. "Thank you, Princess Aelithra," she said, before bobbing into a bow again and moving away. Aelithra wondered what that had been about, but shook it off and continued on her way until she came to her father's study. The door was as imposing now as it had ever been when she was younger. She knocked her hand against it to announce her presence and waited to be called in. She did not fidget. "Enter." She took a moment to straighten her shoulders, pulling her posture into something acceptable and making sure to school her expression into something attentive, non-emotional, then reached forward to push the door open and stepped through. Her father's study was a wash of dark wood and bright silver edging that caught the light streaming in from the large windows set into the wall behind her father's desk. Somehow it made him seem larger, more imposing behind his desk, his face cast in shadow. She stopped in front of the desk and waited to be acknowledged. As he lifted his head to look at her, his silver eyes glowing. At last he lifted his head to look at her, his silver eyes glowing, and she did her best not to tense as he studied her. An itch started in the middle of her back where the sweat gathered, but she remained still and blank-faced, waiting. "Aelithra," her father said, voice cool, inscrutable. "Sit." He gestured dismissively towards the chair beside her, a flick of his fingers, and she slipped into it immediately. There was a pause, and it felt long, before his lips slipped from their usual stern line into a smile. It wasn't warm. She had seen his smile turn warm before, towards Brennan, and sometimes towards Kieran. But while not warm, it was welcoming, as if he was pleased to see her. But his expression was still serious, and she knew not to let herself become comfortable, despite her confusion. "You know, of course, about the creatures that have been attacking the outskirts of the city." It was not a question. "I do," she answered promptly. He nodded, folding his long hands in front of him on the desk, face becoming grave. The smile slipped easily from his face. "The heart of the forest is stirring. It will not be long now until it awakens fully. A few weeks at most, we think." Aelithra nodded, her fingers clenching at the leather covering her thighs. He said this as if it was something she should know. She would not make the mistake of letting it show that she didn't. She hated that she didn't know. He kept his eyes on her, assessing, before nodding to himself. He rose to his feet, chair sliding soundlessly out behind him, and he left the desk to stand beside the window that she knew looked down across the grand courtyard. He didn't seem to be watching whatever preparations were happening below. His gaze seemed far less sharp than usual. "You will leave the fair realm tonight and cross into the human realm at dawn." Aelithra felt like her whole world screeched to a stop. Her breath caught as all manner of feeling shot through her. It took longer than she wanted to claw herself back into a state where she could listen again. She almost missed his next words. "The humans have a settlement not far from the forest. You will go there, choose a human to lead to the heart of the forest." She desperately wanted to ask why, but found the words were caught in her throat, held hostage by her need to not look like a fool with no knowledge of what he was talking about. He looked back at her, sunlight playing across his grey-dappled skin. To her surprise, he offered her more information without her questions. The curse has been a source of terrible hardship for all of the 7 Fae kingdoms, and the burden of dealing with the curse has been passed from kingdom to kingdom, and now that burden rests on us. His silver eyes pierced her. Rests on you. She nodded, her words still trapped in her throat. He beckoned to her, and she hurried to rise from her seat to join him at the window, where he gestured down at the courtyard. This celebration is being held in your honour, he told her. He didn't sound proud in the way he did when he said such things about her brothers, but there was something undefinable in his voice that she could pretend was pride. To honour your journey to the heart and the sacrifice that will be made. Aelithra nodded, at first thinking he meant her own journey, but then, sacrifice? She frowned. A warrior, perhaps, a human fighter to help her battle the creatures that guarded the heart? But then she saw it, unspoken in the cool gleam of his silver eyes. A human to be sacrificed. She was to leave her home, her kingdom, her very realm, to find a human and lead them to the heart of the forest, to be sacrificed. To lift the curse behind the monster she had only heard of. She was surprised that she was the one chosen. The anxiety warred with the mad feeling of relief, of pride. Pride that she could at last do something to help her kingdom, something that might make her father proud of her, truly, at last. But you will need to prepare, her father's voice cut through her doubt. He turned from the window, crossed back to the desk, and lifted a rolled-up map. This map will get you to the heart of the forest. You will leave tonight in order to reach the barrier between the realms before dawn. She took the map. Yes, father, she said, surprised by how steady her voice was. He studied her again before releasing the map into her hold entirely. Do not fail me. She clutched the map to her chest. I will not, father. He retook his seat at the desk and pulled a sheaf of paper towards him. His attention left her entirely, save for a short wave of dismissal. Aelithra swallowed her questions and left, unwilling to risk pushing her luck with him, and made haste back to her rooms. A feeling of... She hesitated to think it was jubilation, not with the idea of a sacrifice dogging at her thoughts. But she could not deny that something in her was pleased that her father had chosen her. She wondered if she might get Kieran alone before the celebration. He was the safest choice, the one most likely to give her answers. But for now, she had to prepare.